Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everybody's all doing well. I'm back with another video on another fight taking place this weekend, which is the unified undisputed lightweight title fight taking place over in Melbourne, Australia, between Devin Haney and George Kambosos. Haney is making his first defense of the unified lightweight titles, and in the first fight, Devin Haney put on a clinic. He really controlled the fight using his jab and his reach, his legs, his defense, controlled the distance and the pace of the fight beautifully, mostly using his left jab, which was really on display that night. And he definitely showed that in that fight that he is a much superior boxer to George Kambosos. And that's why going into this fight, Kambosos needs to make some serious adjustments if he even wants the fight to be competitive, because the first fight was pretty much a shutout for Devin Haney. Kambosos made no adjustments throughout the fight. He stayed on the outside, following Devin Haney around, not cutting the ring off, getting tagged with the jab, and hit with the, sharp right hands and counters. He didn't make any adjustments, and he didn't try and turn the fight into an actual fight. He stayed, like I say, on that mid to outside range, getting hit with jabs, following Haney around, not cutting the ring off. He didn't really, in my opinion, make an attempt to go all in, because at some point in that fight he should have realized, I'm losing every round. I need to make some adjustments, run some red lights and take some chances, even if that results in me getting clipped and knocked out or hurt. I got to try and take some chances, I'm just going to lose all my belts, on a unanimous decision, which he ultimately did. But maybe in his mind he was thinking, live to fight another day, I'll get him in the rematch even if I don't win the cards. Or he might have been thinking he might just, get the decision on the cards, with the fight being in Australia. However, that wasn't the case. Devin Haney won a wide unanimous decision, and, I pretty much expect the same in this fight. I think Devin Haney is just too good of a boxer for George Kambosos. I mean, there's levels to this. Kambosos is a very tough guy mentally and physically. He pulled off that big victory against Teofimo Lopez, and, his confidence was on top of the world. However, going into this fight, we're seeing a more humble Kambosos, and maybe that's a good thing, back to the underdog mentality. And he's going to come in and try and be ferocious, as his nickname is. But I think we're going to see more of the same from the first fight. I don't really see the point in the rematch. I think these guys, they're not on the same level. However, it's a contractual agreement. Devin Haney's got to give him the rematch back in Australia, which he's doing with no problem, because I think he doesn't really view Kambosos as a threat. He'll go over there. I mean, he's going to be switched on because this is his first defense of his title, so I doubt he's overlooking Kambosos. If anything, I think, being a young fighter that wants to, be at the top of the pound-for-pound list at some point in his career, I think he's going to try and one-up his last performance and possibly try and get a stoppage of Kambosos, because I think the stoppage is there. I mean, he's able to hit Kambosos at will, and Kambosos really isn't able to land much on him. Like I say, Devin Haney is just on another level to Kambosos, in my opinion. Got a much better jab. He's got better legs, better defense, better boxing IQ. He's able to control the distance. Kambosos, in my opinion, this is not a good stylistic matchup for him. I think Kambosos does better when a fighter, comes towards him and puts it on him, and then he's able to land, his own counter shots and use his own jab. But in this fight, Devin Haney's got the longer reach, and like I say, he's going to keep the fight on the outside and control the distance. So therefore, Kambosos is kind of not able to land his counters, and he wasn't able to get Devin's timing down due to Devin using a lot of feints, changing a lot of levels, going up and down with his levels, also with his attack to the head and body, using the jab upstairs and downstairs. Just being also a much faster fighter than Kambosos. Kambosos isn't the fastest guy out there. He tries to kind of get your timing down and land counters and punch with you and land in between your shots. But Devin Haney's not really a combination puncher, so Kambosos doesn't really get to punch in between him. Devin's kind of just pot-shotting him and, hitting him with one or two shots at a time. And like I say, Devin controls the range pretty well, so most times when Kambosos is trying to reply, Devin's a little bit too far out for him to land his shots. So in this fight, like I said, I think it's going to be more of the same like the first fight, unless Kambosos comes out with the mentality of, look, I can't box with this guy. I'm not going to win a chess match with him. I mean, still use your jab and, always jab with the jab, but try jab your way into range and try get to his body. He's got to make sure that he's cutting the ring off this time. He can't follow him around. He's got to cut him down, push him into a corner, try trap him in the corner, then let your hands go on him in the corner. Also, I mean, Devin's not the biggest puncher out there. He has pop, he can earn your respect. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's feather-fisted, but he's not the biggest puncher in the lightweight division. So, in my opinion, Kambosos has got to try and take some chances. He's got to run some red lights, take some risks. Like I say, even if he gets clipped, I mean, this is your last chance to get the belts back. You've got to turn the fight into a real fight. You've got to try and brawl with Haney, because I think that's your only chance. You can't win a chess match with Haney. He's too smart for you. He's too sharp for you. So you're going to try and brawl with him, try get to his body, like I say, cut the ring off, trap him in the corner, let your hands go, and up the pace of the fight. Don't let Devin control the fight and the pace of the fight, because the last fight, it was a thinking man's fight, and Devin outthought him, outpointed him, picked him apart. Don't let that be the case, because it'll be the same result again. You got to turn the fight into a real fight. I mean, we've seen Kambosos is mentally tough. We haven't really seen Devin Haney's mental toughness tested. So if you can turn this into a brawl, let's see how much heart Devin Haney has. I mean, that's probably your only chance. But, I mean, Devin is always in fantastic shape. But he does seem to fatigue late in fights due to him using a lot of movement and, using a lot of reflexes and athleticism. He does seem to fatigue towards the back end of fights. So that's Kambosos' chance, in my opinion, is to try and turn this into a rough fest. Try to be a little bit physical, get to his body, turn it into a real fight, try to wear him down, and possibly get a stoppage in the second half of the fight. But I don't think that will happen. In my opinion, we're going to see another probably masterclass put on by Devin Haney. I think Devin's going to pick Kambosos apart. What I'd like to see from Devin in this fight is maybe him going to Kambosos' body a little bit more. Kambosos looks a little bit soft to the body. Really not the most well-built guy in boxing, so I think Devin is physically probably stronger than him. I'm not saying he hits harder, but he might physically be stronger than him, and I'd like to see him go to Kambosos' body a little bit earlier in the fight and try and possibly get the stoppage in the second half of the fight as well, because I don't think Devin's going to be able to stop Kambosos early. Kambosos is a pretty tough, durable guy, but I think if Devin gets to his body a little bit, discourages him, starts to maybe outclass him, pick him apart with the jab, hitting him with a lot of sharp, hard right hands and left hooks, countering him every time and making him pay. I think Devin could possibly stop Kambosos in the second half of the fight, and that is what I'd like to see Devin try and do here, because I do think, he's on a different level compared to Kambosos. So I'd like to see him try and get the stoppage here, and then hopefully after this fight we get to see, the fight most boxing fans, or a lot of boxing fans, want to see, which is the fight between Devin and Lomachenko, or Devin and Tank. But I don't think we'll see Devin and Tank. I think we'll get to see the Devin Haney versus Lomachenko fight, which is the fight that I want to see most anyway, and see how Devin kind of adjusts and reacts to when a fighter tries to take his jab away, because I think Loma will be able to take Devin's best weapon away, which is his jab. And, Loma has also some of the best legs in boxing, so he might be able to nullify, Devin's two best weapons, which will therefore let us see what Devin is other than those two things, and see what adaptions and how adaptive, reactive he is in there. That's what I want to see after this fight. But like I say, guys, I think Devin Haney's going to put on another clinic against Kambosos. I'm not sure whether he'll be able to stop him. I'd like to see him try. I think it's possible. However, I'm just going to pick Devin Haney. I'm not sure whether he's going to win on points or via late stoppage, but I think those are your two most likely outcomes in this fight. Let me know what your guys' thoughts and opinions and predictions are in the comment section below. Thanks for listening, and talk to you guys again soon. Cheers.